Welcome to Atlantic Television Network Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to provide solutions that will benefit humanity. On today's Society Watch, we'll be looking at numbers of issues starting from Enugu State. Government police dismisses sit-at-home order on governance, address hardship, stop weaponizing DSS. That's from Serap. On health care, medical consultants threaten strike over discrimination. On health, who declares Egypt malaria-free. These are the issues we'll be looking at today. You can join us on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. When we return from this short break, I will introduce my guest for today's show. Do stay with us.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN. From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, from the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. And joining me in this conversation this afternoon is a public affairs analyst. I'm talking about Mr. Isaac Botti. Good to have you on set this afternoon.
It's a pleasure. Good afternoon.
All right, let's look at the first story for today from Enugu State. Enugu State government has dismissed an illegal sit-at-home order issued by unknown individuals, urging citizens to continue their unlawful activities. The secretary to the state government, Professor Chidiebere Onyiya, stated that Enugu has moved beyond the area of such orders and emphasized that security agencies are in place to ensure safety. The Nigerian Police Command also condemned the sit-at-home adversary, labeling it as baseless attempt to incite fear. Police Commissioner CP Kanayo Uzobo assured citizens of their safety and warned that any disruptions to public order will be met with strict action. He encouraged parents to prevent their children from engaging in activities that could threaten peace in the state. All right, Mr. Botti, this one is from Enugu State. Of course, the governor of Enugu actually tried before now to make sure that the sit-at-home thing turned to an history, but some individuals have come up again with another chanting that sit-at-home has to be compulsory, though the government and the security agencies has come up to say that there is nothing of such. And people must go about their daily endeavors, and anyone who refuses to do that will be counted as one who is trying to sabotage government government time and power in trying to eradicate this kind of issue from Enugu State. What is your take? Looking at the fact that the people have lived in fear since the issue of sit-at-home happened because of the mayhem that has before the people since this sit-at-home started. What do you think? Do you think it's going to be easy for people to just come out because the government and the police have assured them of safety?
Well, it might not be easy for the people to come out, but again, if the people do not come out as a result of fear, it also shows that the state has been ineffective in guaranteeing the peace and the security of the people of the state. Shows again that the people of the state do not have that confidence in the state government to protect them, and that is why, out of fear, they can obey the instructions or commands of some unscrupulous individuals in the state who perhaps have in the past unleashed severe mayhem on the people or are likely going to do that now. So for me, it tells two things. One is that the state government has not been able to impose a confidence, to impose confidence in the minds of the people. Then the two is that the level of insecurity in the state must have been aggravated to the point that the people feel they cannot disobey these guys who have said these things. And for me, it's a failure of the state, because I do not know how a state with an established authority will cohabit with criminal elements to the point that this element dictates what happens in the society, giving orders, restricting people from law-abiding citizens from going about their daily activities or economic activities. For me, it is unheard of. And then the people now saying that we may not be able to go out regardless of what the government is saying shows that there is a failure of government. There is a failure of the security apparatus in the state to actually protect the people of the state.
So you are of opinion that if the people of Enugu State refuse to go about their different endeavors, despite government order, that there is nothing like sit at home, that shows government incapability of taking care of the people and protecting the people. I want to understand what you mean by that, because the security operatives have been deployed in the area, in the state, to be able to protect these people. If the people do not obey the government and go about their different endeavors, how will the security personnel do their work? Do you think they should first of all eradicate the people? Meanwhile, remember that these people are behind the cameras. They are not known, right? So the people need to go out before they can do their work. So what do you mean by the government is not capable of protecting them if they do not go out?
So the issue again is the people who are instructed the citizens of the state not to go out, live in that state. They reside in the state. They carry out their heinous activities in the state. So why has government not been able to fetch them out? Why has the government and the security agencies not been able to arrest them, dislodge them wherever they are? And that's the only thing that can impose confidence on people. If the people are saying that yes, the security agencies are doing all their best to make sure that they get rid of these guys, they are taking them off the street, then the people will have the confidence to go out. But yet, these guys are everywhere. They are there with them, even though we are saying they are faceless. But of course, they cannot be that faceless that government will not be able to identify them. And if they are still somewhere, nobody has been arrested, they have not been removed one way or the other, what do you think the people will have confidence? Because they live with the people, so they know them. So if you as citizens disobey that directive, they know you. So you just discover somebody is sleeping in his house and some guys come in the middle of the night and burn down the house and burn down the residents of that house. What will the government do? These guys live in the community. This life live with the people. They know them. They know the people in those areas. So why is government saying they are faceless, they cannot be arrested? So the only way to impose confidence in the minds of the people is to get rid of these guys, to take them off the street, to take them away from wherever they are, to dislodge them from wherever they are hiding. But if you have not been able to do that, and you are telling the people, just go out, go about your normal businesses. See, the way these guys operate, we've seen how things happen in the East. These guys operate with precision and very calculative. And most of the times, they beat our intelligence, security intelligence to it many times. So how do you think people will have confidence in them, in the security apparatus to protect them, when over time we have seen this guy beat them to the game, and to the point that they've destroyed lives and they destroyed life and properties in many communities across many of the eastern states. And yet we are saying that, governor is saying that, go about your businesses. No, until you are able to show to me that my security is guaranteed, and that is when I will go out. If these guys are still walking on the street, they are still roaming around, they know the nooks and crannies of the state, and then you are telling me to go out. I'm not confident enough to go out. I won't do that.
All right, Mr. Isaac, now looking at the fact that the people involved in this ordering the stay at home, they do have families. Like you said, they are living in the community. It might even be that they are citizens of Enugu State and other part of the states that is affected, that this stay at home is affected. Now, will you say that the people are very much comfortable with this stay at home every Monday? Because if they are not, how come useful information has not been given so far, knowing that these people are among the people? How come they have not been able to give us any useful information? Could it be that they are comfortable? And again, if you are saying that, if you were the one in question, that you would definitely not go out until they assure you of safety. But it is being stated here that the police and the government have assured the citizens of safety that they should go out. How else do you want the assurance to come?
First, on the assurance, it is not by mere words that, oh, don't worry, we assured you, go out. It is by actions. And the action I, as a citizen, will want to see, if I'm living in that state, is to see these guys arrested, is to see that every week they are packing them off the streets. And you're showing to the people, yes. And when these people are paraded, people know them. That is one thing we should not shy away from. They know them. They have families, as you alluded to. They live in communities. They relate to the people of the community. What they do, they go about other business activities on a daily basis. So if they are taken off the streets, the family knows. People know that, yes, they've taken them off the street. Oh, these people have been taken, this group has been taken off. Okay, we don't have them again. They are no longer threats to the society. People will go out. And that is the kind of assurance we say. It's not to just sit down in the comfort of your office and tell me, oh, go out, and in the comfort of your state house, executive lodge or whatever, and tell me go out. No, we need to show. So guaranteeing the safety and security of the people goes beyond mere words of mouth, saying that, no, you people should go out, or deploying police to the street. These guys will not come face to face in the middle of in broad daylight to attack anybody. They know how they operate, and the security officers or agencies know how these guys operate. So why have they not been able to destroy? So to me, it's about, first of all, get rid of this. They are threat to the society. They should be removed. And then secondly, on the issue of if the people are comfortable sitting at home or not, of course nobody will be comfortable. Your economic activity is being disrupted. How will you be comfortable? And it's not as if the government is paying you one welfare package that can allow you to stay at home. You have to go out to hustle before you eat. So if the environment is not safe enough for you to go out, life first, that is what people do. Like, of course, like the proverbial saying, once there is life, there is hope. So people want that safety first. And then we're going to talk about economic activity. So, and that is why government should also understand that even the government of the state is losing so much economically. When people do not go to work, how will the state generate internal revenue? How will businesses thrive? How will companies pay taxes? How will businesses pay their taxes and pay of trust? That's how will we even appeal VAT from sales of goods and all of that. The government of the state is losing massive, and this should prompt the government to go beyond let's deploy people or issuing a statement, a mere statement, to rather taking action. Deploy all your forces into the creek, into wherever these guys are, bring them out, knock them out, get them arrested, dislodge them, and then state will be peaceful and people will be willing, and not even willing, they will have confidence to go about their businesses. The economic activities of the state will improve, the state government will generate the expected or projected revenue and all of that. So these are things that should be considered carefully to take the right actions, to take a concrete action to make sure that these guys are taken up on the street to provide, to give safety to the people of that state.
Thank you so much. And now let's look at the next story for today. Social Economic Right and Accountability Project has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to stop using the Department of State Service and other security agencies to intimidate human rights defenders, activists and journalists, instead focusing on addressing Nigerians' economic challenges. In a statement, Serap accused Tinubu's government of using baseless defamation lawsuit to suppress free speech. The group also called for the withdrawal of the fundamental lawsuit brought by DSS experts against its management. Serap criticized the government for targeting human rights defenders rather than addressing corruption and economic issues, and urged respect for the rule of the law. All right, Mr. Isaac, this is another one. The Social Economic Right and Accountability Project has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to stop the weaponization of the Departments of State Services and other security agencies in the country and focus on the way to revive the national economic hardship. Do you believe that the elite are misusing the security agencies to crack down on human rights? Is that what it is?
Well, that is what it's looking like at the moment, and to be fair again, or to be sincere rather, is to say that this administration is the most intolerant administration Nigeria has ever had since the return to democracy in 1999. This administration does not want to be criticized. This administration does not want anyone to speak against its policy, against its program, against anything the administration is doing. They are so intolerant that any decent voice or voices is picked up, is arrested, is detained, and all of that. And for me, it's a very bad signal to democracy. We know just a few weeks ago, the same DSS besieged Serap office, threatening its management, according to the reports on the news, and even to the point of a lawsuit coming up against the management of. The question is Serap a threat to the society? No. But the government of the day, because of its the lack of tolerance, feels that Serap is a threat to its administration because Serap says the truth. Speak to the truth to them, confront them with the truth. And they don't like that. And not just Serap, every other organizations and individuals who dare speak against the policy of this administration will be tagged enemy of the state. And we saw what happened with even citizens protesting. Many of these young ones who are just protesting end bad governance, who should be recognized as forces to work with, to help address the concerns of Nigerians, were picked up, were labeled, were charged with treason. And we say we are in a democracy, we operate in a democratic system of government. This is not how it is done. Democracy allows for tolerance. And as a leader, a political leader, the best way to assess your performance is when you listen to the honest and bitter truth of the people. They will tell you how well you are performing as as either a president or as a governor, as what have you. So if you detest the truth so much, then anything the citizens are saying or the people are saying will be seen as an attack on the administration, will be seen as an attack against some persons in the administration. And that is one of the things we should be careful. Democracy allows for feedback. And how does government get feedback? From the reaction of the people. When the people say, this is how we feel about your administration, about your policy, you should take that as a feedback and go back to the drawing board. Look at where you are not doing good or where you need to improve, and you improve on that. And your administration will be considered one of the best. But an administration that does not want to listen to the people and see every voices against any of its policy as the voice of the or voices of the enemies. No. I think it's far below the expectations of Nigerians.
All right, and then of course we know that the SERAP have been doing a whole lot so far since the beginning of the, let's just say the removal of the subsidies, and they have been there, they have followed the government back to back. And of course, like you said, the truth is bitter. Yes, what happened when the truth is bitter and then at the end of the day the government is not doing anything? Do you think that because it's only the SERAP that is pushing, that other organizations, other departments are not pushing, that anything positive is actually going to happen? Because so far, have the Nigerians seen any positive change so far? Remember that Shetima said that himself and the president, that's Bola Tinubu, have know about the Nigerians' grievances. But the truth is, according to him, that there is no alternative. So Nigerians will continue to experience it still whenever change comes, and we don't know when the change will come. So what do you think?
First of all, let me also mention that it is not only SERAP that is speaking the truth to the government. SERAP happens to be a critical voice at the moment, like every other civil society organizations. For instance, just last week, a group of civil society organizations led by Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, Yaga, Code, Social Action, and the rest, held a press conference, particularly to decry the activities of state government that are now trying to undermine the power of our anti-graft agencies in Nigeria. It was a massive report everywhere. So, like SERAP is doing is, every other actors in the civil society are doing them on a daily basis. Nobody is resting on their oasis. Everybody is doing what they should do to let the government of the day understand that things are not right. And Nigerians are complaining. How are they complaining? Because they are feeling the hardship, they are feeling the negative impact of the policies severely. And that is one thing that we, and so while things are not changing, that is another point of discussion. So again, it goes to say that the government is not listening to our voices. Government is not seeing. We appear to be the mad people on this other side. They are the same people. So we are not seeing what they are seeing. Perhaps that's what they are thinking, and they too are not seeing what we are seeing in this other, or they chose not to see it, or choose to be insensitive to the plight of the people. And that is why we are not seeing anything. And for any government to say that, see, there is no option, there is no other alternative, I think it's total act of foolery to say that, because there is always option for every situation, every scenario, every contest has options, has alternative to addressing it. Every problem has options and alternatives to addressing it. So it is only when you want to go through the lazy path or the easiest path, that is when you say there is no option. There are other options, but it may not be as easy as they want it to be, and that is why they are feeling that there is no option. And you see, for example, let's look at the economic policy of the government. Fantastic policies, I must say. brilliant economic policies. But within the Nigerian context, they are not intelligent, they are not smart policies. They are not smart policies within the Nigerian economic situation, social, political situation, because before certain policies are rolled out, for example, the floating of the naira, for instance, against the dollar, you must have a buffer, meaning that you must have an adequate reserve of forex to meet your domestic need. Particularly for a country that is not selling anything at the moment, a country that only sells crude oil at the moment, a country whose trade balance has been on deficit for several years, a country that economies, manufacturing sector is dead for many years, a country that lacks industry. How will you float your naira, your local currency, in the face of all of these challenges, and you expect the people not to grapple with the endemic effect of inflation in the economy? No, it is not possible. And these are some of the things we are seeing. So even if you want to implement these policies, yeah, we agree they are good, they are fine, but they are long-term policies. And so if you have long-term measures, then you should also have in place short-term measures to cushion the immediate effect of that policy, both in the short run until the long run comes, when the benefit will begin to become clearer to the people. But when you ask people to wait for the next 15 years for the policy to materialize, you are telling us that we should die before that time. And these are some of the issues that we need to. There are several other policies that this government has rolled out. Brilliant policies, I must say, but then they are not in tandem with the reality of our economy. And they are not in tandem with the reality of Nigeria, both micro and the macroeconomic situation at the moment. And that is why Nigerians are feeling the hardship. That is why things are not working the way. And so when people are speaking, don't disregard them. Don't tell them that you don't know what you are saying. You guys should go and sit down and wait for 1 million years before things begin to get better for them. No, Nigerians know what they are saying, and there are alternatives, quick wins that Nigerians are expecting, that are even within the context of classical economics can be implemented, and Nigerians will not feel this pressure the way they are feeling it.
All right, thank you so much. And then looking at another story on health care, Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria has issued a 21 days ultimatum to stakeholders, including the federal government, to address its demands or face a nationwide strike. This decision was made after an extraordinary visual National Executive Council meeting. MEDCON criticized Nigerian universities for excluding medical and dental fellowships as varied qualifications for vice-chancellor positions instead favoring PhDs. This issue arose after Nnamdi Azikiwe University's VC requirements, which demand a PhD, were seen as discriminatory by medical professionals. The NEC demands this as unfair and unlawful, pointing out that medical and dental fellowships are essential academic and professional qualifications in medical faculties. They also criticized the government's failures to harmonize consultants' retirement age to 70 and to address discrepancies in clinical lecturers' salaries. The association warned of potential legal actions and service withdrawal if their demands are not met. This is from Healthcare, Mr. Isaac. And the Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria has issued a 21 days ultimatum to the federal government to address its demands, or its members will withdraw their services nationwide. What is going on with all this ultimatum, with threatening strike and all of those in different sectors, different organizations? Teachers will come and go, doctors will come and go, and all that and all that. Is it that the federal government cannot at least meet the demand of a particular organization. At least so that when they were talking, they would say, we met so-so and so-so and so-so organization. The same way we did others, we would do theirs. Why are they always doing a half job, meeting a half demand, entering an agreement, at the end of the day, they will not fulfill it?
Well, my response to that would be that this is not new. That is, it's the game that the government plays.
You call it a game?
I call it a game. It is a game because
really?
It's not as if they do not know what should be done, how to address the concerns of the various sectors of the society or the economy or the work, the labor force as it may be. They know what to do. But I've seen that sometimes they decide on their decisions deliberately, perhaps to test the patience of those in the sectors, or in fact not even just to test their patience, it's to see if they will react. And if they did not react, the government goes ahead to implement whatever it desires and leave the people to continue to play. And then when you see these reactions coming from different sectors, there are also responses to some of the government policies that are not favorable. So, for example, some weeks ago we talked about the tertiary institution lecturers who are earning less than what they should earn. And here we are talking of consultants. We are talking of harmonizing the welfare, the basic pay of consultants, and those are the teaching part of it. Of course, they play different roles, and yet the roles are interconnected. So without those in the tertiary institutions teaching, the consultants, how would they become consultants in the very same time? And the consultants too are needed to help strengthen the health sectors in Nigeria using their expertise and their knowledge. So governments know exactly what to be done. And see, one of the things I've always said is that we don't have to wait until people agitate. These people travel out. Our government officials, government representatives, be it the president, the vice president, and all of the ministers, they go abroad. Many of them seek foreign medical attention. They know how things are done. They listen. They discuss with their contemporaries in other countries, in other clients. And they know what policies are put in place to strengthen each sector of the economy. So why are they not coming back to do the same thing here? Why do they have to wait until the people begin to agitate, threatening to go on strike before they will now come on the table? And even most of the times when they have agreed on certain things, even the implementation takes decades sometimes. Takes quite longer until they go on protest again for the same thing they have agreed on to implement. They have to go on strike again before it will be implemented. To review it after several years would be another round of agitation. So I think the government is conscious of what it's doing. It's simply a game for them. If not, all you need is to put in place a policy that allows these issues or these concerns to be addressed at intervals.
All right.
But when you do not do that, then it simply shows that you care less about them. And then they have to fight back. They have to show their strength. And they shut down the sector or withdraw the services of their consultants. And of course, again, do they care? Does the government people care? Because when the health sector is shut down, they will travel abroad to seek health care elsewhere because they have the resources. We are left, those of us who do not have the resources to do that, are left to face whatever the consequence of that is on us.
All right, thank you. Let's quickly look at the last story for today on health. Egypt has been certified as malaria-free by the World Health Organization, making a significant achievement after nearly 100 years of effort to eliminate the disease, which has existed in the country since ancient times. WHO Director General Dr. Taros praised Egypt's commitment to eradicating malaria, calling the certification historic and an inspiration to other nations. All right, I don't want to take to the end of the story, but this is a laudable one. Mr. Isaac, we know that there are so many factors that causes malaria. And of course, this has been since from the very beginning. And we know that mosquitoes, I call it ketos, is one of the factors that cause this. And for them to say that Egypt is free from malaria, that's to say that there are no ketos, like that's mosquitoes in that side. How do we bring this to Nigeria in particular? We have 2 minutes to talk about this anyways.
Well, the government, how do we bring it to Nigeria? I will say that let our health minister go there, go and ask them, or go and take tutorial in Egypt and learn how they were able to do it. What did they put in place? What health programs? What environmental programs? What have you? Programs that they put in place that allow them to achieve this milestone. These things are not rocket science. They can be achieved. And we want to start from even our environment. How clean are our environment? What is the government doing again to ensure that we have clean environment? And as citizens, what are we doing too? Because before we talk, for most of the time we feel that I want to always exempt the citizens. But the citizens will be excused if the government is failing in its own responsibility. So the government should do its own part first. And so if you have, for example, policies in place that allow that provide for opportunity for clean environment, the citizens will adapt to that and they will follow through. And where they breach any of the government's what is it called, policies or directives around that, then they will be sanctioned and everybody will be able to see that. So what did Egypt do?
Well, Mr. Isaac,
that is the starting point.
You know, when you say that the Minister of Health should go over there to Egypt to find out what they did, remember that they have been on this for 100 years. I mean, they are far. When they started, I don't think my mother was even in this world. So for 100 years, they have tried to achieve this particular thing. Yes, it's a testimony. They've achieved it. And if someone from Nigeria now go to Egypt, how long are they going to stay to be able to achieve this? Well, that's, by the way, congratulations to Egypt.
Let us start now.
Now.
100 years now.
All right.
Start doing something one at a time.
All right. And we are saying, I am saying thank you so much for joining me on today's conversation. It was good having you in the studio, Mr. Isaac Boti.
Pleasure.
And I hope to have you some other time. Once again, congratulations to Egypt. No mosquito, no malaria anymore in Egypt. That's amazing. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? All right, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. We have come to the end of this show. Thanks for joining us. You can join us on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X, Atlantic TV Net. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. I am Immaculata Irikana. Continue to watch ATN Social. See, we come your way next time. Good afternoon.